A lot of people complain about the inner fairings on the new Street Glides and Road Glides being matte black, not being painted. And today we're going factory color matched. Yes, so I got an inner fairing from the factory match in white onyx pearl to match my bike. Now Josh from the factory match already has YouTube videos on removing and installing the inner fairing on a Street Glide because he had a blue one he did it on. It's a great video. Highly recommend you watch it, especially if you have any questions after watching mine, because his is probably better than mine, but that's just the way it is. He does body stuff and all this stuff for a living, and I'm just an old hillbilly. But I am going to start with removing the windshield and start taking stuff off, just like they said. I'll kind of walk you through the process. And the biggest thing is, what does this white onyx pearl inner fairing look like on white? Is it going to be too much? I like some contrast, so we're going to keep the black speaker grills. And we're going to keep the black vent. We're just doing the inner fairing, so we'll still have some black and white contrast there. They do paint matched on the piece of below the windshield there, above the inner fairing and that, if you send it to them and stuff. I didn't do that. We might do that in the future. There won't be much to take off. It's right there at the top. But for now, we're just doing the inner fairing and then the shell that goes around your ignition down there where your steering lock is and all that. So let's get started. First thing we got to do is remove the windshield. We got two bits here. I have a Clockworks windshield, so it's got Clockworks hardware there. And then below that will be a piece here that we'll also remove. So let's get that done, and then we'll come back and see what's next. Okay, we're getting ready to remove this piece next. There's a bolt right here, one on the opposite side back in here, and then there is one on this side right below the little knob for adjusting your vent. These should all be T27s. The factory bolts that held this black piece on were T27s. Now, the Clockworks windshield was T25s. If you have a different windshield, you may have different hardware for the windshield. All right, guys. Now, in the factory matches video, they use a plastic pry bar and reach down here and pry. I already popped this side loose, but what there is there's a little catch right here. This one I've not popped loose. The way I did it was took a screwdriver and pried from the inside, and let's see if we can hear it pop. There we go. So there is a little bit of a catch there, so if you pry that in and then push it out, it comes right out, or you can use a plastic pry bar like they did. I already had the screw on the back side all the way out. Now the next thing we're supposed to do is pull this glove box. I got a Bluetooth headset unit thing in here to trick it so I don't have to use Cardo all the time. So I'll unplug that from the cable. Now if you don't know, this thing just kind of pops right out. Just give it a little tug and it'll come out. The cable will be hanging there. Now the next thing we got to do is remove this. And to do that, we have to get this little piece right here on the top off. And there is supposed to be a little tab underneath it that you can just put a little pressure on. I got a little plastic pry tool. Well, that was pretty easy. One side's loose. Wiggle it. I say that was really easy, and then the top is stuck. It's coming. There we go. So there's that little pry tab. It's all the way up here at the top. And then there's one at the very bottom. So 12 o'clock and 6 o'clock is where you actually want to be prying. That would help to know, wouldn't it? 12 o'clock, 6 o'clock. Tab and tab. Okay, now we have two Phillips screws right here. Now, I prefer to use a JIS2 screwdriver. It's kind of like a number 2, but the point is actually cut off. I buy these special. I keep one in every garage and shop. I never strip out Phillips screws since I started using this screwdriver. A lot of metric bikes use it. Not that I have any metric bikes anymore, but I used to work on some, and that's where I learned to buy the screwdriver from, but it works great on everything. 2 screws, that simple. We got a couple more bolts before we can get this piece off. All right here, guys, is the base of my handlebars. I still got my state parks from South Dakota on here where I went to the Badlands. But it's this bolt next that we're going to take loose. That's part of what's holding this. This will come later. I have a mount on here for if I have to tow the bike to tie it down rather than putting hooks on the handlebars. Gets my connection lower, keeps it off my paint. So I'd put those on. Those came from Hogworks. So Your bike may not have this piece here, but you'll still have these bolts here and here that we will eventually get to. I'm gonna go ahead and take these two out. These are hex. By the way, those are 5/32 if you need to know what size hex. So I understand that there's a little tab right in here you should be able to feel. One right here, one right over here. You just kind of gently tug on those and they should pop loose. You can bring this right over the top of your key lock. Now, depending on what kind of bars you've got, you know, that kind of stuff, this can be a little tight to get it out of here. I found turning the handlebars to the right actually made it easier for me to clear. Now, this will go back to the factory match. This is an exchange program, so I got a new white one and they'll get this one back. Okay, we have 3 bolts to remove. One of them you can't see because of my hand guard, but it's right up here at the top of the fairing. That's a long bolt. And then we have another long bolt down here. And then we have a short bolt below the speaker. Let's go ahead and get those out, 3 on each side. T27. Okay, now that I've got those bolts out the side, we're gonna take the outer fairing off. Now you gotta kind of pop it out with the pry bar and then take those 2 bolts that were up there in the front the rest of the way out. There's like a little retainer that kind of holds them until you put a little pressure on there and you can separate it. I'm waiting on Firecracker to come help me because I'm gonna hold the fairing while she reaches in and unplugs the headlight. So that's the next step. All right, Firecracker was not camera ready, so we didn't record that, but she held it while I reached in here and unplugged the light. Right here is the plug where I unplugged it. This is the plug that you pull out. You do that by pushing on that and pulling out. All right, guys, now the bolts are out of this, and from what I understand, this little piece right here just has like a guidance hole that a little peg or something, the notch, you know, sits into. So you can just basically spread it, pull it forward. Yeah, there's a little hole right there. You can feel a little knob sticking out on the inside that goes in that hole. That easy. Overall, this is really not that complicated if you just follow the steps. I mean, Josh's video makes it really simple. All right, guys, now at this point, you gotta be a little careful. This whole thing is kind of just balancing on here. You'll see it can move some. Now, there's 3 bolts that we gotta take loose to get the inner fairing off. One here, one right there, and then one down here. Now, I'm probably gonna wait till I have some help because once I take those loose, I gotta pull this forward and then pop the inner fairing off. So I really need to hold it. You can see some clips in here. There's some like pressure points right here that you'll press on that allow that to pop off. But I really want someone to help me do this, and Firecracker is not camera ready. So maybe I can get Steve to come over tomorrow night and help me finish taking this off. Now, once I get this loose, you know, the inner fairing will come off. You put the other fairing back on, put it right back in place. So hopefully it'll go really easy. All right, guys, I've got some help tonight to help me take the inner fairing off. Steve's here. All right, after putting the inner fairing in place, we screwed those 6 bolts back in that held it, snugged them up, rotated up, and then you put those bolts, those lower bolts that go into the fork legs in to kind of secure it. I haven't tightened everything up yet. I still got to put my speaker grills in. We did one in. I'm going to do this one real quick. They just pop in. Then that screw we took out earlier is the only thing that actually like secures them. Otherwise, they're just press in, press out. So pop these in real quick. And then we'll take a look at how it looks so far. All right, the next piece is this going down in there. I'm gonna let Steve hold the camera while I try and finagle this in there. I found it was easier when I rotated the handlebars last time. Let me see if I can turn this without. Yeah, I gotta be, there we go. There we go. So the trick is to watch and make sure you get on the outside of this piece right here when you put the first one in. Then rotate the second one in and pop it down right over top the lock. Line our screw holes back up. Again, be careful that these rollers in here don't fall out. I think they're just kind of magnetically setting there, so if you hit them real hard, you can knock them out. But you want them to be in place when you go put the tray back. All right, if you got everything lined up here good, then you can go ahead and put this top bolt in and tighten it up. Now I didn't snug the bottom two yet, but I'm going to go ahead and snug all 3 bolts. This one, and this one. Now that we have everything kind of lined up, you can see everything lines up good there and all this. And I think probably the next thing we'll do is put the glove box back in. All right, we got ahead of ourselves putting all those bolts in and tighten them up. You want to leave that bottom bolt out on the forks there. Let me show you why. You got to put this piece in. And there is, if you remember, a little plug on the inside of this that pops into that hole right there. And then you have the lower bolt hole here. So I'll put my mount back and screw that back in now. But you want to leave that bottom bolt out till after you put this piece in. Sorry, guys. All right, we're ready to put the outer fairing on. So I'm going to hold it, let Steve plug the headlight in, then we'll put it in place. And we're going to just secure it with those 2 bolts that are retained in the top of it for now. And then we'll work on putting the rest of the bolts in. It might be easier to see from the back. I don't know. You got it? There we go. Okay. Looks like I'm pretty good here. See how we have a little bit of a lip here? You want to make sure that's coming over the top of it. As he tightens it, that should tighten up flush. See it coming together? There we go. Getting close. We're just going to snug them up for now. But again, check your edges. Make sure all these edges look good. Make sure all these edges look good and everything butts up like it should. Check under your headlight. Make sure everything's in place. All right, guys, we're going to go ahead and put the fairing bolts in. Remember, long one at the top, long one at the bottom, short one in the middle here. As you tighten these inner fairing bolts up, you'll see the fairing kind of sucking up and sealing tight up against the inner fairing and the outer fairing. They all come together and close up the gaps real good. Now there is a rubber seal on my inner fairing. Not a rubber seal, but kind of a, what would you call that, Steve? This thing.
Yeah.
That is keep the cable from rubbing against the fairing. It's a rubber one. I'm transferring it from my old one to my new one. So we got to put that in. And I got painted plugs to match. So mine had black plugs in it. I'm going to send those back to the factory match with that fairing because he gave me painted white ones to go in mine, which are going to look sharp. Now, one thing about, look on the inside of these. I'm sure you're not going to be able to see it on the camera, but on the inside, they're labeled left or right, so you know which way to go because they have like a little bit of a pitch to them. See if I can show you that. So they literally tilt one way to match the face of the fairing. Guys, if you look, you'll see a little bitty notch right there that points to the inside. There's one on each side. And on these plugs, there is a notch in the plastic right there that matches. So if you put them in on the right way, the way they're labeled, with the notch in the right place, they go in super easy. And if I can do this one-handed here, there we go. Nice and flush. All right, guys, right there is where this little rubber pad goes that protects the cable from rubbing on your painted surface there. All right, guys, the next thing to do is put that little vent that goes across the top and then put the plate back in that goes underneath the windshield and put the windshield back on. Basically, reverse order of the first things we took off. I did some things in a little different order than Josh did. It doesn't really, his way worked fine too. I just did it my way. That's the way it worked well for me. Again, I have a few differences with having the tie downs on here and a few other things. So we're going to get that vent in, and then we're going to take a look at this thing and see how it looks. I want your opinion. Hey guys, you also need to take this clip off your old fairing and put it on your new fairing if you're doing an exchange from the factory match, because that probably will not come on it. So I'm going to pry this off and put it on my new one. Got to do that before you can put that vent in. This is the screw that goes right underneath the vent knob. So just push it down over that, right here. That's where it goes, and then you can put this in. Now, these pieces you can get painted to match, or you could do gloss black. I haven't done that yet. That might be a project for next winter. You guys let me know what you think. Windshield mounts go in next. Put your windshield of choice back in here. It kind of pops down into those little clips and lines up with your holes right there, and then put your windshield mounts back on. If you're changing the cover of your tray, your glove box, you got to take that faceplate off and swap that. I'm going to show you how to do that real quick. So I've already got it started, but just take something like this plastic pry bar and start working around the edge here on the bottom. And once you get that popped loose, the top comes off real easy. And to put the new one on, you do the same thing. So kind of get the top where it needs to be, the part that's going to be visible. Make sure you clear your button over there. And that's just going to snap on. I'm going to need both hands for this. That's it. It's on. Give it a little tap. Make sure it's on good. Button works. All set. Make sure you got your USB cord. Run through that little notch before you feed it in. Try and keep that cord pulled a little tight. Now, should just pop right back in there on track if you left everything where it was. Now, if everything's working right, press the button. It'll slide out. Push it back. Press the button. It springs back out. If it's not doing that, check those little rollers in there. They've got a little hook they hook into. And they're kind of like a little spring roller that as you push it out, it gets more tension. So when you release it, those rollers push the drawer out. Mine always tends to hang here. And it's always this cord catching, getting up out of that V-notch in the back. I think I'm going to actually put something across there, some tape or something to keep that down, because that's where where mine hangs. As long as the cord's in place, it rolls good. Cord gets out of place, it hangs. All right, guys, the outer fairing's all back on. Let's take a peek how it looks from the cockpit now. What do you think? Oh, I don't think I showed it, but you just pop that little piece back in, just little two clips, you just press down on it, it'll pop in. So, does that look pretty good? I like it. I don't know that I want this painted white. I might do gloss black, but I don't think I would do white there. But I like the contrast. I think it looks good. You guys let me know what you think. Would you change anything? Would you do this vivid black? Would you do this white onyx pearl? The other thing that they can paint that I didn't have them do is this black trim underneath the outer fairing. This right here. It gets covered with bugs and stuff. Gloss black might be okay, but I don't think I want white there. But, you guys tell me what you think. All right, guys. I hope this video helps you if you're trying to do an inner fairing swap. I highly recommend the factory match. They did sponsor today's video in a sense. I mean, I did pay something for this. I just didn't pay full retail. They're a great partner of the channel, and I appreciate them helping me get parts like this so I can do videos like this that might help you and showcase some great parts for the 2024 and up street glides and road glides. So I've done my Clockworks fender from them. I got my Clockworks windshield from them. Got my radiator cover from them. I got my headlight trim from them. And so I really appreciate everything they've done for the channel and the products they create. It's made my bike it has been transformative for my bike with their products on it. Okay, y'all take it easy. Y'all stay safe and keep on riding. We'll see you in the next one.